in Adelaide, South Australia. Race 2 of the championship. Shaheen all the way to the exit curb. Foot firmly planted into the bucket as he gets the V10 engine up to revs and up to speed. Down towards the famous centre chicane with the big curbs. He hops across the turn 2 curb with Tony Bates and Andrew Haryanto in close pursuit.
Very different approach from Yasser Shaheen. Under fire now from Tony Bates down turn 4. He's going to take the position away and lead this race as he threatened prior to the start. And he's got back to the front. Of course, the pole sitter from the opening qualifying session yesterday didn't work out so well in race 1, but he's made amends for that and leads this race with about 8 laps to go.
Now, that was premeditated. That was absolutely a plan coming into the restart. He would have been thinking about that, get a good run through the chicane, carry the momentum, and launch one down the inside across the bumps at the entrance to turn 4. It is a great passing opportunity, but you need to be committed. The fans at turn 8 enjoying the action as the Audis whiz by at 200 kilometres per hour.
Again, talking about that restart approach from Yasser Shaheen, he grouped the field up and very slowly came through the final corner and nailed the throttle. In stark contrast to what Andrew Haryanto did yesterday. He said as soon as the lights went out in the safety car, he'd gone. and in the Asian series, they said the rules are you've got to maintain the speed up until you get near the start-finish line.
Here's the move for the lead once again from a long way back, but committed early. There was nothing Shaheen could do about that one. And the Bend Audi R8 is relegated back to second. If you're wondering what the Bend is, that's the new circuit that's opening up about 90 minutes away from where we're standing right now. On board with Bates, this is how he pulled that move off. Made his intentions known. Shaheen choosing not to defend. Bates relying on the the ABS, I should say. And gets that one pulled up down there at turn 4. Great move.
I noticed on one of the replays that coming through turn 3, there was a little bit of tyre smoke. It may have been the right front of Birambaki because he made contact with James Konduras. That was the reason we had the safety car intervention. So whether he has a little bit of damage to the right front, he needs to be careful. The team will be monitoring that. And we'll just see how that one plays out. But certainly, Andrew Haryanto had worked out prior to the restart yesterday what the actual rules were. They're different to the Asian rules that we're used to. He was all across it, and he just hammered as soon as the lights went out in the safety car and disappeared off into the distance. This time, Shaheen took a different approach, and you'd have to say Haryanto's approach was perhaps the more stout option. On board with the race leader, Tony Bates, comes through the final sector of this lap. As we say, he's a multiple race winner here. Was winner of the Australian GT round here 12 months ago. And he knows the right way to get around the Adelaide Parkland circuit, and he really wants to make amends for that off yesterday, the drama he had, own goal by his own admission. So he will be looking to try and take the victory because he wants that Audi R8 road car. He's already told me that. And he wants a seat in the Spa 24-hour race next year. So if it's all over for him from this weekend, you'd expect to see the Australian driver in the Nürburgring round in early May as we fire off rounds 3 and 4 of the 2018 Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup.
Such a violent, bumpy part of the racetrack, Sector 1. You can just see the speed climbing on the dash as well. Over 200 kilometres an hour now. Here comes turn 8, 200, just about keeping it at 200 clicks through there. Concrete walls either side. You have to be committed. Trust in the technology, and he's... Did he cop a shot in the right rear then? Or was that just the car? Yes, there is. Yasser Shaheen. And they'll go side by side, almost a bump and run.
And look who's closing in behind him. It's a three-way battle for the lead.
That was awesome. That gave you a true perspective as to what it's like when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, an attack comes. And now it's on. It's a fight for the lead of this race. Haryanto's involved. Good scrap coming here. Parts falling off these race cars. As they say, right, it's the end of the weekend. The gloves are off. Let's go at it.
Theo Konduras and Birambaki closing in too. The top 5 covered by just 2 seconds that time around. So this is right on. 6 laps remaining. And what a great way to start our first visit to Australia in the Adelaide circuit.
Haryanto going defensive. He had a really slow run down towards turn 4. Just covers the inside line. Big crack of oversteer at the apex. He gathers it back up. He's under fire from Theo Konduras. And again, the rear tyres, they're crying for mercy as he slips up again. So A couple of street fights here starting to form. One at the front between Bates and Shaheen. Another one between Haryanto and Konduras. Burambati out the back of this battle. Good stuff in the Audis.
On board with Haryanto, watching this move up front.
He would have been thinking, come on, boys.
Well, whilst Tony Bates said, I'm going to make amends for what happened in race 1, I think Yasser Shaheen wants to make amends for having taken pole position and lost it with the damage on the front of the J-Mac Pem entry as they head into the corner. Just watch this contact, under brakes, bit too deep.
The braking's maximised at that point as well, Sean. You're relying on the ABS to just get the job done. Look at the parts stripping away. And that piece of grille actually came off eventually at turn 14. It stayed there for a few corners. Spectacular action. And Bates holding his nerve, and he's woken up. He just hit the fastest lap of the race. I think that was the kick that he needed. He's definitely come to play now. He said, right, I'm not going to let you do that again. I'm just going to check out of here. Second last lap will go time certain. Burambati's, oh man, watching this battle unfold ahead with Theo Konduras and Andrew Haryanto fighting for it. Man, it's happening now between 3 different countries. Indonesia, Australia, Thailand fighting for P3.
Steve McLaughlin behind this lot in the second of the J-Mac Pem entries because he's the J-Mac Pem Racing team boss at Melbourne Performance Centre. Into position 6, Mark Williamson, a good shout out to the CDBS Racers entry. We've not seen much of him. Come out of retirement after not racing since 2011 to be back in the car. He will be very happy with position number 7. Jeffrey Lee back to position 8. Potentially a penalty as a result of that contact with Sunjing Zhu. Daniel Bilski, the Australian, the former AM Cup and Masters Cup champion, in position 9. And Mark Sini, very busy man this weekend, also running in Carrera Cup. This is like event number 20, I think, in his career at the Adelaide circuit, in position number 10.
With the last lap next time by. Haryanto using plenty of the road. I'm not sure if he's defending or he's just trying to get a look at the competition behind him. Theo Konduras in the middle in the Superbahn Audi and Burambati chasing them as the race leader again goes quicker. 1:21.4, new lap record. Tony Bates last time by. He is up the ante.
When you consider these are bronze class FIA drivers, yes, they have experience. Yes, Tony Bates is a former winner of Australian GT around here. Has run things like the Development Series, V8 Utes and Carrera Cup. Still, a 1:21.4, Chad, is a very, very impressive lap time. These are very fast cars, full-spec GT3 cars. The early seasons of the Cup were lower generation cars, of course, generational Series 1 Audi R8 LMS Cup entries, as opposed to this is the Generation 2 car, very much designed with customer racing in mind, but very fast cars. 1:21.4 for Tony Bates, and the bulk of the field is still in the 1:22s.
Shaheen went with him. They both were in the 1:21s last time by the only 2 drivers to have turned 21s in race action. The track is quick with the grey skies above. Last lap, last few corners. The Audis putting on a show in Australia for the first time. Still on at turn 9, not the way you want to finish the weekend.
Sunjing Zhu and Daniel Bilski now coming together.
Second hand. Meanwhile, it's Tony Bates who will reign supreme in race number 2. A flash of the headlights, got the job done off the front row. Great scrap with Yasser Shaheen. And Haryanto holds on for 3rd and the round win. So he's booked himself a ticket to Belgium for the 2019 Spa 24-hour race. Congratulations, Andrew Haryanto. And that is very impressive given, I guess you could say, the calibre of the local drivers and the experience of some of the local stars here. Gee, it all happened at the last lap.
Uh-oh.
Oh, big move down the inside.
Oh, dear.
And that was Williamson getting turned around. Now it's a double crash. The encore for the Audis this weekend down at turn 9.
They'd been flawless for, well, 6 sessions, and it all came undone in the last lap of the final laps here in the maiden event for the Cup in Australia.
So it's Bates who gets the win. Cleared out nearly 2 seconds over the local driver.